Yebo sir.
As it is a court, my lord. No, thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. Now you said subsequent to your visitation at the scene on the 27th of October 2016, you also attended yet another 2014, 26 October 2014. You then attended yet another process or incident where you were present as well, where there was an interview, I don't know by who, but that was held with the people who were in the house. Take us through that incident.
We are in the Mnisi 26 October 2014. Waphinda kwaba nelinye ithuba lapho wayakhona wayokhuluma nabe bekhona usichazele ngalokho.
Malo, there was a team that was assembled to conduct the investigations in this.
Kwakukhona ithimba elaliqokiwe ukuthi liyokwenza uphenyo mayelana nalesi sigameko.
They had the report that I compiled on the crime scene.
Babenayo-ke umbiko enganguhlanganisile endaweni yesigameko.
Now, let us try to be specific about this team. Which team was it?
There was a team from the province, and then there was another team where it was led by members of the DPCI also, where they went to do the reconstruction at the scene also.
Do you still remember who were the members of that team, the DPCI team? Do you still remember who were they?
Hello, the DPCI team was led by General Mukote. I don't know the other members. I can't remember the other members who were there.
General Mukote,
Okay. Proceed.
Then the intention for me to be there was to hear the version of the accused.
No,
not of the accused, of the witnesses who were at the scene during the incident.
Can you please say again?
To hear the version of the witnesses who were at the scene.
So let me understand, you were requested by General Mukotedi to be there as well.
That's correct, Malo.
Okay. Right, then proceed.
I was given the version of all the witnesses who were there, more or less all of them, how they explained what transpired is exactly the same as what you said now, what Tumelo said. So they were all in the house, a shot went off, they all ran to different rooms, but on the positions of the deceased, that's why I explained, mine is based on the physical evidence, so I don't know how the others, their version on how it happened there. Okay.
Yebo ngaba khona lapho into sami ukuthi ngize ubufakazi obavela ngoba bonke laba bakhona endini ngalelo langa ngamunye bachaza ukuthi kwakwenzekeni. Mina ke lapho ke njengoba sesifundile la ukuthi uyachaza lona ukuthi kwenzekani ngase ngenzani ke. Mina ke engangibhekile nje ukuthi ngizame ukuthi khipheke isithombe sokuthi kwakwenzekani ngalelo langa, kodwa ke ngisebenzisa ke izinto eziphathekayo ezazikhona lapho engangakwazi ukuthi ngisebenzise ukuthi kubonakala ukuthi lokhu kwenzeka ngoba kwenziwa yilokhu nalokhu ngoba kwenziwa yilokhu.
So you stuck with the objectivity of how you analyzed and found the scene.
That's correct, man. I said my version is clear. That's how what I could determine there, what I could find on the crime scene. But the other versions that I'm not going to entertain because I'm not going to listen to them.
cha mina ngikwasengitshela ngichazela ukuthi ngangisebenzisa engakuthola wendaweni yesigameko lokhu kusho abanye abantu bengekwa.
Thank you. Now, the format of that interview, what format did that interview take? Was it a question and answer session? Was it recorded or it was what? How did it take shape?
Manje-ke ngalesi sikhathi nikhulumisana-ke nalabo ufakazi laba kwenziwa kanjani nanibuza umbuzo kube nezimpendulo noma kwakuqoshwa phansi noma kwenziwa kanjani?
It was an acting format, like where they will act on where were you and then how did you react. So they all acted in the house.
Cha indlela bebenza ngayo ukuthi nje benze ukuthi kubonakale benze ngalendlela okwenziwa ngayo ngalelo sukuthi mina ngangimephi ngase ngisuka ngiyaphi ukuze kubonakale ngale ukuthi kwenzekani ngalelo la.
Or it was a reenactment of what possibly could have happened that day?
That's correct, man.
Kwase sokuphindela umuntu enze lento ayenza ngalelo la.
Yeah, now that's my question. When those demonstrations were happening, were they being recorded, or you were just observing through your eyes and taking notes? Right? That's just what I want to find out.
Manje kumabisalo bekhombisa ukuthi kwakwenzeka ngalelo langa. Kwakhona yini kwaqoshwa phansi ukuthi ngalelo langa kwakwenzeka noma kubhalwa noma kwenzeka.
I was observing and I didn't take notes.
Cha mina nje ngangibhekile ukuthi benza kanjani ngizange ngithathe manje ngizanibhale phansi.
Thank you, but now I'm referring to, remember you were also an invitee there, you were invited to be there. The main people who had to be responsible there was the team that was led by General Mokoteli. So can you tell us whether that team was recording that reenactment or what, or it was just a question and answer session?
Njengoba wena-ke wawungomenyiwe lapho ngicela mhlawumbe ukuthi uqaphu ukuthi wena wabona laba abanye benza kanjani noma uthi wena-ke wawumenywe uGeneral Mkoteli ukuthi kube lapho laba abanye babeqopha yini phansi noma kubhalwa yini phansi ukuthi kwenzekani?
It was a reenactment, but I can't recall whether it was recorded or, but I was there just looking and then I went out.
Oh, okay.
Mina ngizange ngafika nje ngabheka ngizange ngibhale lutho phansi ase ngiyaphuma.
Thank you. You can't remember whether it was being recorded or it was just an answer in the question session.
So awusakhumbula ukuthi kwaqoshwa noma kwakubuza nje umbuzo kube nempendulo.
But when I was there, they were like they would ask one of the witnesses, where were you and what did you do? What was your movement and where did you do that? What I did on my part is I explained the same scenario of the incident, how I presented it to them on my blog.
Hayi mina ngakhona nje ukuthi abantu babebuzwa ukuthi wawukuphi wawumephi wawenzani yenzani indlela owenza ngayo. Mina engakwenza ukubasiza ukuthi ngibachazele ukuthi mina ekuthatheni lobufakazi engabuthola khona lapha kuleyo ndawo ngakwazi ukuthi ngiveze ukuthi nami ngibona sengathi izinto zenzeka kanjani.
Now, where did this take place? Was it at the same house where the main incident took place, or it was a movie made somewhere else? I mean, it was a reenactment of what happened, but it took place at a different location.
Manje kuphindeke benze ngalendlela okwenzeka ngayo ngalela langa kwakwenzela phike lo ayendlini isigameko noma kwakukhona enye indawo lapha suka baya khona bayokwenzela khona.
It was at the same house.
Kwakuyikhona kuleyo.
Okay, thank you. And who accompanied you this date? From your section, from your unit?
I was alone from
You went there. Thank you. Just a second. Thank you. Now, from let me put it this way. Who were the participants in this reenactment?
Ngobani
Or the
abantu-
characters, if I may put it that way. Who were the characters in this reenactment?
Please come again.
Who were the characters in this reenactment?
Ngobani ke ababekhona ababekhombisa ukuthi kwenzekani ngalelo langa?
I don't know the people who were acting on that thing, but the witnesses who were in the house were telling them this is what I did, and then the person will act the same way as being described by the witness who was in the house.
Cha, kwakuyilabantu ababekhona endlini ngalelo langa ababekhombisa ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani ke bese kuyenziwa ngalendlela abayebona ukuthi kwakwenzeka ngalo ngalelo langa.
Thank you. Now you said at some point, Brigadier Kininda also requested you to go and take some measurements and just to go and have a physical observation of those that he referred to as the people of interest in this case, not so?
Brigadier Ngenenda wakuthumela ke ukuthi uyohamba uyokala and futhi ke nokuthi uzama ukubheka labantu leyo kuthiwa abantu ababe bonus bebabheka njengabantu abangababheka ababekhona ngesikhathi sesigameko noma ke ababebona sengathi bangaba nosizo oluthize abangaliletha.
That's correct, ma'am.
Thank you.
Unjalo.
And then you, amongst others, you went to Mr. Mnube, who's accused number 3. And there's a story that you told this court relating to some scars on the leg. Can you please repeat it?
Weje wahamba wabona nomsolo wesithathu kwaMncube and khona ke la wakhuluma khona mhlambe ngamaskazi kuthiwa eseyinyaweni ngaphinda futhi.
But when I looked at the reconstruction that I did, I said the first bullet has hit the floor, the tile, in and about approximately 90 degrees.
Yeah.
And then it fragmented. So the fragments which come from that bullet could have hit anyone who was close within that vicinity. And I said, but let me just check their legs. If there's any scars from the fragments, maybe I can see something that I can identify and see that these scars might be linked to that thing. And then
Ushuthi khona inhlamvu eyashaya phansi le nhlamvu lena ke umshaya yashaya yavithizela okusho ukuthi ngicabanga ukuthi ke nje ekuvithizekeni kwayo le nhlamvu lena kusho ukuthi khona mhlambe umonakalo noma ukulimala engaba ingakushiya kwabanye bekhona. So ngangifuna ukufunisisa ukuthi ngabe kwakunjalo na.
Yes.
but when I went to accused number 3, after taking the measurements, I asked him to take off his shoes and the socks.
Yes.
Emva kwalokho ngase ngiya kumsolo wesithathu emva ukuthi ngibone lokho ngase ngimcela ukuthi akakhumule izicathulo namasokisi akhe.
Yes.
But when I checked his legs, he said that when he was young, he was playing soccer and he was playing out in the field. The
Yes.
scars that I see on the legs could be from his childhood when he was playing there.
Yes.
Athi ke hayi ke lezi la ubonakala sengathi kwakunezilonda enyaweni zakhe uthi yena cha walimala esemncane.
Ngesizulu scars ibazi phela. Yes, not ilonda. Ilonda into esese fresh. Scars ibazi. But thank you.
Kwake kwaba nesilonda khona.
Okay. La kuke kwaba nesilonda khona. Thank you. Okay, but then his explanation was, in fact, before that. So, when you requested him to take off his shoes and socks, you could observe some scars.
manje umuthi ke kumele icathulo namasokiso awufuna ukubona lezi bazi.
That's correct, my lord.
Thank you.
Yewunjani?
And were you happy with his explanation?
Manje ncazelo wayithola wayamkela.
Yes, I checked, my lord, but I couldn't see any scars.
Ngahlola kodwa ngizange ngithole izibazi khona.
So he had no scars.
I couldn't see them, my lord.
Thank you.
Hayi angizange ngizibone.
So he was basically saying to you, even if you can check, but if there's a scar that you can find here, just know that me as a youngster, I grew up playing soccer, and we would get injured because we did not have the luxury to play on soft surfaces. Always be playing on hard surfaces, rocky areas there. Not so.
That was his explanation, my lord.
Thank you.
Nokuyena ncazelo yakho ukuthi esemusha babedlalela endaweni lapho engagcina khona limele abangathola khona ukuthi ke khona izilonda ezasishiya izibazi la enyaweni ngoba la adlalela khona kwakuyindawo engekho engalungiselela ukudlala.
As it please the court, my lord, Mr. Mngube is raising his hand. May I request to approach him? Thank you, my lord. Thank you for the indulgence, my lord. Now you're telling this court that I'm sorry. Now you had to go and look at his leg because the first shot that went in the house actually struck the tile, the ceramic tile at 90 degrees, not so.
Manje uthe wena
So you had to go, I'm sorry, so you had to go and do a comparative analysis on that.
manje uthe khona inhlamvu eyashaya lapha phansi emhlabathini ngo-90 degrees. Emva kwaloko wafusa ukuthi uyomhlola ngoba wafuna ukubona ukuthi umphumela walokho kwakungabe kuyini.
That's correct, my lord. I wanted to check if I could see anything.
Yebo ngangifuna ukuyobona ukuthi khona yini engingakubona.
But how did you know that that was the first shot which was fired?
Manje wazi kanjani ukuthi kwawuqala ukudubula ngaleso sikhathi?
My lord, if you listen to all the versions, especially of the witnesses who were in the house, they said
Yes.
the first shot went off, they all ran away,
Yes.
and when the second shot was there, they had the second shot. The
Yes.
second shot is when the deceased was shot. All of them were not around that area. So I could determine that that was the first shot.
Thank you.
Manje uma ulalela kahle ufazi balabo babekhona lapho usho ukuthi ukudubula oqala yilabo kuthiwa kona babaleka bonke and baseke bethi ke uma sekudutshulwa kwesibili bezwa and futhi lapho ke umufi adutshula khona. So ke ileyo ke enhlamvu yokuqala engicabangela ukuthi yiyo le eyadala eyayishaya lapha phansi.
Thank you. Now you say when you listen, when did you have an opportunity to listen to the versions of the witnesses?
Manje wena wakwazi nini ukuthi uyozwa ukubekisa kwabandla kwalabo fakazi ababili lapha?
The version of the
You are saying when you listen to the version of the witnesses. Now I'm asking you, when did you listen to the versions of the witnesses to come to the conclusion that the first shot that hit the floor was shot at 90 degrees?
wena ke wakwazi kanjani ukuthi uyolalela ukubekisa kwami ufakazi uzokwazi ukuthola ukuthi inhlamvu yokuqala iyona leyangena ngo-90 degrees phansi eyashaya ngo-90 degrees phansi.
Well, the first time I heard of the version of the witnesses who were in the house is when they were acting that thing with General Mkote at the scene.
Hayi ngaqala ukuqala ngalesi sikhathi beyokhombisa ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani kuno-General Mkotedi lapha endaweni yesigameko.
Thank you. So, was this investigation relating to a possible injury on the feet, not information? Let me put it this way: the pursuit of this investigation relating to the foot relating to the injury on the foot, was this not as a result of a request that was done by Brigadier Kininda that is to go and visit these people, Mr. Mnube, where he was detained, take his height and also check other things?
Manje kuphishela kwakho uthi uyozwisisa kahle ukuthi kukhona mhlambe khona walimala ngesikhathi lenhlamvu ishaya phansi, kwakungekona yini ukuthi wawulandelela lokhu okwakwenziwe uBrigadier Kininda ukuthi ahamba ayobheka ukuthi ayobhekisisa ukuthi kwakwenzekeni lapha endaweni yesigameko?
My Lord, the request from the brigadier was about the height, not about the possible injuries or scars on the foot.
About the what?
The scars.
No, the first one was
About the height.
height of what?
The height
Of what?
of
Ulotsho uBrigadier Kininda mina ngithume kona wawukuthi ngiyobona ukuthi mude kangakanani lo msolo. Hayi ukuthi ngiyohlola ukuthi kwakungenzeka yini ukuthi kokukhona owayelimele.
Thank you. But the height measurement and the determination of whether or not there was an injury on the feet happened on the same day, not so?
Manje ukuhlola ubude bomsolo nokuthi kungenzeka ukuthi khona yini owayelimele ngalelo langa kwenziwa ngelanga elilodwa kunjani?
That's correct, man.
Yebo kunjani.
Thank you. Now, basically, what you're telling these courts is that Brigadier Kininda says to you, Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, can you please go and take for me the height measurement of Mr. Mnube, because I want to use it somewhere. And then they say yes. When you arrive there, out of your own accord, mero motu, because of what you heard from the witnesses, you also go to the foot, which instructions never came from Brigadier Kininda, not so?
Uma esekuthumileke uBrigadier Kininda ukuthi hambe yohlola ubude balo msolo lo, wena waqhubekela phambili wafuna nokwazi ukuthi angabe limele yini enyaweni, kuwukuthi akakuthumanga ukwenza lokho.
My Lord, if it's ballistic related evidence that I must look at, I'm going to look at it. I'm not going to wait for Brigadier to ask me to check that.
Uma kuwukuthi khona ke ubufakazi engabuthola bahambelana nokuqhuma kweyinhlamvu ballistic, angeke ngilinde ukuthi ngise ngithuke, ngiyakwenza nje uma ukuthi khona ithuba lokwenza.
Thank you, but let's get this fact very clear. Let's not cloud it. Brigadier Kininda says to you, can you please go and check for me the height of Mr. Mnube? Because I want to compare it with something, and then you say yes. Check if your height is right there. When you arrive there, then you say, oh, I also have a background here relating to a shot that was fired on the floor at 90 degrees. But despite the fact that Brigadier Kininda did not give me specific instruction on this one, nonetheless, I'll continue to do it. Is that what happened?
Manje njengoba uBrigadier Kininda wakuthumile ukuthi ufuna ukuthi uyofuna ubude kamsolwa umncube usho ukuthi ke wena wafika lapha wavuma ukuthi uzoya lapha uyokwenza lo msebenzi kodwa wasithi ke ngoba ukhona inhlamvu eyayidutshulwe yayishaya lapha phansi uvele wazitshela ukuthi ufanele naye manje ubusuyahlaziya ukuthi le nhlamvu lena kwenzekani ngayo khona oyalimala yini.
My lord, as I said, if it's ballistic related, I will continue to do that. But if it was not ballistic related, I wouldn't do it.
Hayi uma njengoba sengichazile ngoba nje ehambelana nokudutshulwa kwezibhamu nenhlamvu ngiyakwenza lokho kodwa ke ukuba ke kwangahambelani naloko ngangekwenza angengihlobo.
Now, you told to this court that you also visited, my memory serves me well, you correct me if it skips me here and there. You also went to see accused number. Did you go and see accused number 1 as well in order to take those measurements? Not
What?
really accused number 1, Mr. Sibia.
Manje emva ukuthi uthunywe kuyothatha uyokala umsolo umncube umsolo sithathu ukuthi mude kangakanani wadlulela yini kumsolo wokuqala ukuthi uyomkala naye.
Yes, I did that.
Yebo ngakwenza lokho.
And did you go and also visited Mr. Ntanzi? That's accused number 2.
Wamvashela yini bamntanzi umsolo sibili naye
To take measurements.
ukuthi nje uyomkala naye.
That's correct, my lord. I did that.
Yebo unjalo ngakwenza lokho.
Did you go to Mr. Mapisa and do the same thing, take measurements?
Wahamba yini waya kumaphisa wayomkala naye.
That's correct, my lord. I did.
Yebo unjalo.
And Mr. Ntuli as well. Take measurements.
Nakuba umntuli wayomkala naye.
Yes, we went to Mr. Mapisa, but Mr. Tan, accused number 5, Mr. Ndu.
Yeah.
But we didn't take the measurements on it.
Yebo saya kumaphisa saya futhi naku entuli kodwa sizange simkale.
Thank you. Did you, when you visited Mr. Sibia, also Merimoto, that is now out of your own, request him to take off his shoes and socks in order to look at his feet?
Manje musufika lapha kusibiya wamcela yini ukuthi wena ke uzenzela ngokwakho. Wamcela yini ukuthi akakhumule izicathulo namasokisi ukuthi ubheke inyawo zakhe.
With accused number 1 and number 2, I did not do the exercise.
Angikwenzanga lokho kumsolo oqala nomsolo wesibili.
Thank you. What about to Mr. Mapisa?
Ngoba umaphisa yena
I did the same exercise.
ngakwenza lokho.
What about Mr. Ntuli?
Manje ke kumphemba yena
I did not do the exercise.
angizange ngikwenze lokho.
Thank you. Lieutenant Colonel, you are an expert at a ballistic science laboratory, not so?
Ngochwepheshe wase-ballistic laboratory akunjalo.
That's correct, my lord.
Yebo unjalo.
Were you in any event, in any event involved in the taking of evidence in this case?
Awukabandakanyeka yini ekuthatheni kobufakazi kule ndaba kuleli cala.
Let me put it this way. Were you part of the investigating team in this case?
Wawukhona yini kuleli thimba lokuphenya kuleli cala.
Investigating team, meaning I was part of the investigating team from the first team that started with the case. Every time when they need consultation, they will call me and consult with them, and then I'll go back. If they have any exhibits that needs to be examined, maybe to be compared with this stuff, they will call me and then they'll bring the exhibits. I would like the way they brought all the firearms. They will call me as part of the team. But when they do other investigations, I was not part of it.
Kangangi ngomunye waleli thimba leli kuqaleni wathi ke uma kukhona izinto abaziphethe abafuna ukuthi ngizihlole babe ngibiza ngihloleke leso zinto mase ngiqedile lapho kusho ukuthi ke angizange ngiphinde ngiqhubeke nokuthi ngiyokwenza okunye bengenza nje lokho okuhlola ngendlela ababengicela ngayo.
Now let's take it step by step. Investigating team will ask you to come and look at certain things. What team ever asked you to come and look at what things?
Manje ke iliphi ke ithimba eleza lezocela ukuthi ubheke izinto nokuyini lesicela ukuthi uzibheke.
But Malak, as I said, when they had meetings, they will call me to the meetings. When they had meetings, they will call me to the meetings. I will attend the meetings. If they have any evidence that is ballistic related, they will call me. Maybe if they want me to compare other exhibits or other tests with the exhibit bullets from the scene, they will let me know, then I'll do the examinations.
Yeah, noma bekuthi benemhlangano babengibiza ukuthi ngiye kuleyo mhlangano ngiyohlangana nabo. Ngokhona incazelo ababesidinga bebengicela ukuthi ngibalethele izincazelo. Futhi ke uma kukhona abakutholile mhlawumbe ukuhambelana nokuhlola kweinhlamvu zesibhamu babekuletha nabo ukuthi ngikuhlole.
Yes, let us particularize. For instance, which team called you to come and look at what and where was the meeting held? That's the information that I want.
Ayesiqonde ngo ekutheni liphi ithimba lakubiza ukuthi uzobheka ini.
Just give us an example of a team that was led by General so-and-so or Commissioner so-and-so. They called me to come and do this and this and this is what I did. We met here at such and such a place. That's the information that I want from you.
Ngifisa ukuthi ke ungichazele kona ukuthi vele ubekisa ukuthi ngahlangana nethimba elaloholwa uBrigadier uSibanibani owangicela ukuthi siye endaweni enje nenje ngoba bebefuna lokhu nalokhu.
As I said, with General Mkote from DPCI, they called me when they went to the scene. I was there, they called me, I attended.
Yes.
And with General Ndlovu, I think that First Loras Police Station, when they attended the meeting at the boardroom, I attended the meeting. And
njengoba sengishilo-ke uGeneral Mkoteli wakwangibiza ukuthi ngize emhlanganweni futhi-ke noGeneral Ndlovu uGeneral Ndlovu wangibiza la ukuthi uGeneral Ndlovu wangibiza ukuthi siye emhlanganweni. uGeneral Mkoteli lo sengishilo wayehamba nabaka-DPCI wathi angiye lapha ukuthi kuzobona ukuthi ofakazi bayichaza kanjani ukuthi kwenzekani ngalelela.
Thank you. Would that also be the reason, sir, why you were involved in this up and down trip of trips of fetching exhibits from police stations to the ballistic forensic science laboratory?
Isona isizathu esasenza ukuthi uhambe phezulu naphansi ulanda ke izinkomba ezazikhona ezibandakanya i-laboratory ne-ballistic.
Malak, it's not the up and down of fetching the exhibits. I examined the exhibits. I could see it. I wanted to get the firearm, and I drove to go fetch the firearm and came back.
No, mina angisebenza nje ney'nkomba ezanginisi zona kodwa kwathi ngisenza ngitshela ukuthi kunesibhamu ngahamba ngashayela ngayosilanda leso sibhamu.
Said, I'll come to the issue of the firearm, and now that you're reminding me of it, I'll come to it. Let me just note it here. Thank you. Now, is it correct that your position as an expert is perceived as a neutral position?
Kuyiqiniso yini ukuthi njengoba ke uchwepheshe
That's correct, my lord.
Indlela osenzayo kubonakala waziwa njengomuntu ke phela ongathathi ihlangothi. Wathi yebo unjani?
Is it correct that the perception of your position is one that should be as follows? You are at a forensic science laboratory, investigating officers who are foot soldiers, bring exhibits to you, you analyze them, you give them results, they see what to do with those results, not so?
Manje ke wena usenze laboratory amaphoyisa ke uma ethole izinto abafisa ukuthi sihlole baziletha kuwena ebese siyazihlaziya yazibheka and then ebese kuzenika umbiko akunjalo.
I'll compile a report and give it to them.
Yes,
Please.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes, I do that.
Ethi yebo unjani?
And the reason why that is so is because you want to maintain the integrity of the very same institution that you're working for, so, not so, which is the South African Forensic Science Laboratory in the ballistic section, not so.
Ngithi wenza kanjani ngoba uyazama ngaso sonke isikhathi ukuthi ugcine isithunzi sale ndawo osenza kuyona i-forensic library akunjalo?
That's correct, my lord.
Yebo unjani?
Thank you. Now, how did you continue to maintain the integrity and the neutrality of the South African Forensic Science Laboratory, the ballistic section thereof, when Brigadier Gininda says to you, can you please go and take for me the measurement? And then you go there to the people that you're supposed to get this measurement from and add your own little investigation and say, no, just because I can also go and look into their food. When that was not a specific mandate from Brigadier Gininda, how did you maintain that neutrality in those circumstances or in that instance?
Manje ke wawukwazi kanjani ke ukugcina isithunzi sale ndawo esenzelayo laboratory sokwaziwa njenge laboratory engachemile futhi nengathathi uhlangothi uma ukuthi wathi uthunyiwe uBrigadier Gininda ukuthi uyokala lo ufanele uyokala lapha wena ukuthi uye lapha uyokala umsolo wena sobona ukuthi uqhubeke wenze naloko ongatsheliwe noma ukuthunywa ukuthi uyokwenza lapha manje isithunzi ke lapho usigcina kanjani?
My lord, Brigadier Gininda did not say I must go fetch get the height of the accused or the suspects in this matter. Brigadier Gininda asked me, based on the reconstruction of the incident that I did, the trajectory that I did, can it be possible to determine if I have a person of this height, to determine if he can be the shooter in the case, or he can be maybe more or less the height of the shooter in the case. It's because it's ballistic related, that's why I did that. If it was not ballistic related, I wouldn't go there.
Cha Brigadier Gininda azange angitshela ukuthi ngihambe ngiyokala lo muntu ukuthi ke ngithe uma sengichaza ukubekisa isithombe sokuthi ingathi kwenzekani ngalelo langa kwaseke kuba nombuzo ukuthi umuntu onobude obungaka kungaba uyena yini owadubula lapho ngaseke kungiphoqelela ukuthi ngiyokala lo muntu lo ababe naye ukuthi ngibone ukuthi angakwazi ukuthi abe uyena owadubula ngoba lokhu kuhambelana ke nokuhlolwa kwezinhlamvu nezibhamu kusho ukuthi ballistic ukwabe ungahambelani ne-ballistic ngangeke ngikwenze lokho.
Thank you. You are again repeating it in your own words. Brigadier Gininda says to you, can you please go and determine the height of those people that I regard as people of interest? And then you say yes. Brigadier Gininda does not say to you, can you please also go and check on their food? Not so.
Brigadier Gininda wathi hamba ukala ukuthi bangabe badekanga azange asho ukuthi hambe yohlola iy'nyawo zabo kunjani?
Brigadier Gininda is not a ballistic expert. I'm the expert. I'm the one who came with that information. It's possible that if the person was within that vicinity and a shot is fired, there's possibility of the fragments hitting that person and the food cannot be ruled out. So I just want to check if those people were not hit by the fragments from the same bullet.
Ngophika kitkinenza akuyena uchwepheshe wezesibhamu imini uchwepheshe so mase ngithumile ukuthi ngiyabona ukuthi uma kuwukuthi abantu khona abantu ababekhona lapha endlini and futhi ke kwakudutshulwe ngalendlela so kwakufanele ukuthi ngiyohlola ukuthi lo muntu enobude obungaka ngaba kuyena inodublile futhi ngiphinde ngibheke nokuthi ke mhlambe ke lezi incezu zeyinhlamvu zesibhamu akwenzekanga yena ukuthi ezinye mhlambe nentuthu yesibhamu isalele ukuze kwazi ukubonakala ukuthi mhlambe kungatholakala ubufakazi obungakhomba ukuthi ubani owayedubulile ngakwenza lokho ngoba kuhambelana neballistic.
I don't have a reason to believe that you don't understand my question because it is very clear. Brigadier Kinina does not say to you, when you arrive there, can you also look at their feet? You did that out of your own, not so.
This is the third time I think this question is being answered. The witness has already said that anything ballistic related, that's his competency. Is there a reason why this is now being repeated over and over again?
For the fifth time, Mr. Mnisi yesterday asked this question. Yeah, but allow it. You go on for the 10th time if you want to.
I hear the court saying yesterday I also asked her the question.
And there was argument about whether Gininda came in, whatever, and he said he went to Pretoria at the police station there, it's Valeria.
Yes.
Found accused number what.
Yes.
And requested that person to undress, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
I listened to the evidence. And yesterday you questioned this witness about it. Am I correct or am I just dreaming, sir?
Correct, my lord.
You did ask this question yesterday.
I'm going to request to refer
Yes,
to
let's
the
play.
record.
Yes, let's play it now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
May we adjourn so it looks specifically that portion where I asked that question, my lord.
Okay, let's continue, but I can tell you, you did. Oh, my lord. Jesus.
My lord, it's just been brought to my attention again that actually yesterday we never said. Now, it struck me very strange for the court to say that I asked the very same question and I'm asking it for the 10th time today. I never asked that question.
Okay, let's ask
But
this
then the
witness.
record will tell, my lord.
Yeah, it will. You remember or you don't remember whether you were asked the same question?
The same question was asked several times.
I remember you saying if it's ballistically connected, I'll do this and that and that and that. Okay, let's go on because I am certain I heard it. Okay?
And it came from me, my lord.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord.
Because you are the guy who was cross-examining.
As it please the court, my lord.
You bro.
Say, you know what? I could be asking this question so many times. The point that I'm driving at is your neutrality as a member of the Forensic Science Laboratory of South Africa and the integrity of that institution that you need to keep. When you just decide to do things willy-nilly out of your own accord simply because you're a ballistic expert, does that not have an impact on your neutrality or on the neutral stand that you should always have as a ballistic expert?
Manje nje uqepheshe-ke wezibhamu ukuthi-ke ufike endaweni ungaceliwe ebese-ke wenzela into obungaceliwe ukuyenza akwenzini ukuthi ube nomthelela ekutheni mhlambe kwehlisa isithunzi sendawo osenza kuyona ilaboratory nokuthi-ke kushiye nawe kungasabonakali ukuthi awusathatha ihlangothi.
My lord, if I get a crime scene where, let's say, a vehicle has been shot and somebody has been shot or sustained a gunshot wound, if I'm able to determine that when this person was shot was inside the vehicle, I'm not going to wait for the IO to ask me where this person, I'm going to mention that this person was shot while inside the vehicle or was shot while outside the vehicle. So if it's anything that is ballistic related, I'm going to mention it to the IO.
Bakuhambelanayo nokudutshulwa mhlawumbe sithi umuntu udutshule esemotweni kufanele ngikwazi ukuthi ngithi uma ngihlaziya ngibone ukuthi lo muntu uthuthule ngaphakathi kwemoto noma uthuthule ngaphansi kwemoto yethu ngoba umseshi-ke lapho bese ngibuza ngifanele ngikwazi ukumnika impendulo ukuthi uthuthule ngaphakathi noma ngaphandle kwemoto.
As it is a court.
I believe we are there to assist with the investigation and we are there to guide the investigation. If it's ballistic related, we are there to assist them.
No, mina wabona sengathi umsebenzi wethu ukuthi ngiyosiza lapho futhi-ke ngikwazi ukuletha iy'mpendulo ezihambelana mayelana nokuthuthulwa kwezibhamu.
And if I assist, it doesn't mean I'm biased.
Akusho ukuthi phela uma ukuthi ngiyasiza lapha akusho ukuthi ngichemile.
Thank you. So, you know the example you just gave is way out of way, many kilometers out of way with what you did in this instance. Mr. Mnube is in prison. Was that a sin of crime? Where you visited him, was that a sin of crime?
No, I should have come back.
According to the IO, was he not a person of interest? Brigadier Gininda has asked me to come and measure him because he was a person of interest. And if he's a person of interest, I'll do anything that has to do with ballistics.
Uma ukuthi yilo muntu ke kubona sengathi singafanele simbheke mangithunya ukuthi ngiyombheka kufanele ukuthi ngenze wonke umsebenzi.
So, I hear the court saying, but nonetheless, I'm going to put it to you, sir, that your conduct in this particular instance totally removed the neutrality that you had to have as an expert from the ballistic forensic science laboratory. You basically from the forensic science laboratory became part of the investigating team in this instance. And I'm going to tell you what demonstrates that.
Indlela engibona ngayo ukuthi wena wawubonakala ukuthi usuthathe uhlangothi wagcina ngomunye walaba ababefanele balethe ubufakazi ngalelo langa ngoba wawuhlulekile ukuthi ugcine isiqu sakho njengongathathi ihlangothi ngalelo langa.
My Lord, if the investigating officer is requesting assistance that is ballistic related, I'm going to be part of it if you request me to be part of it. And I'm going to guide them with any ballistic related incident. That does not mean I'm biased or I'm...
Akusho ukuthi ngithatha uhlangothi uma ngicelwe umseshi ukuthi ngimsize mayelana nezinto ezihambelana nokusetshenziswa noma ukuqhuma kwezibhamu nenhlamvu zesibhamu. So-ke kusho ukuthi-ke mina ngalelo langa uma ngicelile ukuthi ngimsize ngandlela thize ngiyamsiza ngandlela thize kodwa uma ukuthi kuhambela nezibhamu.
Thank you. I said I'm going to tell you why I say you did that. Now listen to the following. You have tried. You went your way. You even went to an extent of ignoring the very same teachings that you got from the gentleman that I asked you about, the Maddock and Moran, who taught you, number one, what CMS stands for. The art of identification of striations, the art of the comparison of bullets, the crime scene bullet and the test bullet. Despite the fact that on the totality of the evidence that you just gave before court today, yesterday, and also on Friday, in your own version when you said there was no proper transferability or reproducibility of the striations. Nonetheless, you went on to find that the bullet that was found at the scene does accord and compare with the bullets which you have fired. And the reason why you did that is because you wanted to nail Mr. Mnisi, as the state told you that he's the person who had a firearm on that day in question. I'm not done, but you can respond to this one.
Ngibona sengathi uzange uyilandelele indlela wawufundiswe ngayo uBruce Moran noJohn Murdoch ukuthi ke ulandelele indlela ezinhle zokuthi ubheke ubufakazi nokuthi ubheke impawu ezikhona einhlamvini zesibhamu nokuthi uqhathanise inhlamvu zesibhamu ukuthi ubone ukuthi khona yini ukufana noma ngoba kuyabonakala ukuthi awuzange ubone ukuthi kukhona ukudlulisela enhlamvini impawu ezithile wakungekho kulezo inhlamvu owazibheka kusukela kule nhlamvu oyatholakala endaweni yesigameko kunayo futhi nakulezi inhlamvu lezi owazidubulile wena. Usho ukuthi ke inhloso yakho lapho kwakungekhona ukuletha umbiko oqotho kodwa kwakuwukuthi ke wawufuna ukuthi uninde umsolwa lo owawuzwile ukuthi uyena owayenesibhamu ngalelo langa wawufuna ukumninda ngecala.
My Lord, I'll say with confidence, and I'm 100% sure that the bullet that was found from the country is positively linked to this firearm. I have no doubt in that one. And I proved that, I put my court charts there, which shows enough marks that were transferred by the firearm to those bullets.
Ngingakubeka ke ngiqinisekisa ukuthi ke inhlamvu eyatholakala endaweni yesigameko iyo yayidutshulwe yiso lesi sibhamu esasihlola lapha, and futhi ke kuyacaca ukuthi ngempela umsebenzi sawenza lapho umsebenzi waveza ukuthi ngempela yiyo.
And second to that, sir, I'm going to put it to you. Further to the teachings of Bruce Moran and John Murdoch, which for a moment I thought you understood them, and I will be excused if you did not understand them, in terms of the consecutivity of the calculations of the striations. Because you wanted a result, you went against their teachings and found that the bullet that was sent to you as a scene bullet does match those bullets which you fired as test bullet from the alleged firearms. I mean from this alleged firearm, not arms.
Kuyaqhubeka lapho kuyabonakala ukuthi wazi kahle ifundo awufundiswe uBruce Moran noJohn Murdoch, ngoba kuyabonakala ukuthi kulandelana kwempawu awuzange ukulandelisise, ngoba wena inhloso yakho nje wawukuthi ufune ukuthi ube nomphumela othize, ngoba kwagcina lapho usuthatha wathola ukuthi le nhlamvu lena yatholakala lapha endaweni yesigameko wasuthi iyahambisana ncimishi nalezi-ke owawuzidubulile ezokuthi uteste ngazo.
I've put my court chart here on the screen with 6 marks, 6 striation marks that appears on both the exhibits and the test. And I've marked only 6 of them because according to the CMS, you need only 6 marks to make it positive, or 2 sets of 3. And there I've showed 3 marks. If I have to show more than that, I will do that. But because the minimum is 6, that's why I showed only 6.
Mina-ke njengoba ngikhombisile lapha ngikhombisile ukuthi kubonakalile ngithole impawu eziyisithupha, ngoba-ke kudingeka kuphela nje impawu eziyisithupha noma impawu ezintathu zitholakale ezindaweni ezehlukile ezimbili, ngoba kudingeka nje iziyisithupha. Ngikhombisile lapha ngibekile i-chart yami ngakhombisa ukuthi engizitholile impawu ngitholile impawu eziyisithupha ezanginika ubufakazi obenele bokuthi ngikwazi ukuthi ngithathe isinqumo.
I did not compile only one court chart. I compiled 4 of them. Why is it only concentrating on one? The others we left them out.
Ngibeke amashadi amane indaba ke sigcwela eshadini elilodwa.
You compiled 4 charts.
That's correct.
Wathi ubeke amashadi amane wathi yebo.
Say, I'm going to put it to you that you only used bullet number, test bullet number 5 and test bullet number 4. All the charts that you are saying you compiled 4 of them, they're just the duplicates.
Ngibeka kwena ukuthi
They're just duplicates.
wona amashadi akhombisa ezinye inhlamvu. Ngibona nje sengathi ishadi elilodwa kwenziwa amakhophi alo.
The court chart that I started with, that I presented in court, I was requested to point out the marks from the same court chart. That's why I used the same court chart. I didn't go for other court charts.
Angisebenzisana leshafe ngiyibekile phambi kwenkantolo angizange ngisebenzise enye ishadi ngoba kuthiwa ngikhombise iy'mpawu kuyona.
Thank you. You fetched the firearm as per request of Brigadier Mangena from Cleveland. The firearm that you ultimately used to fire the test bullet from, not so?
Uhambe walanda isibhamu uthunywe uBrigadier Mangena. Uthe uBrigadier, did you say Brigadier Mangena?
No, I'm sorry. If I say Mangena, I'm saying.
So I didn't
Maybe
know.
it's a good omen. You are going to be Brigadier. I don't know.
Can you please
But I
repeat
said
your
I
question?
wanted to say Brigadier Mangena. Brigadier Kininda.
So can you please rephrase your question so that you can get it right?
Excuse me?
Can you please rephrase your question because a lot of things.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of Kinindas and Mangenas. Thank you. Let me be very precise. You were requested by Brigadier Kininda to go and fetch the firearm from which you ultimately fired test bullets, not so from Cleveland.
Cela uBrigadier Kininda ukuthi uhambe uyena nesibhamu leso agcina usisebenzisele ukuthi udubule ama-bullet okuhlola ngawo ama-test bullet.
My Lord, Brigadier Kininda did not ask me to or request me to go fetch the fire. I compared the tests which were fired by warrant officer Rulofsen with the bullet from the crime scene.
uBrigadier Kininda angizange ngitshela ukuthi ngiyolanda isibhamu. Mina ngithathe lezi nhlamvu lezi ezasidutshulwe warrant officer Rulofsen. Ngase ngiqhathanisa nenhlamvu eyatholakala esigamekweni.
Yes.
And my Lord, after I compared that, I could see the similarities, but I could not see clear individual markings on the test bullets.
Okay.
Ngathi ke mase ngiqhathanisa ngabona ukuthi kukhona ukufana nokuthize kodwa ngangasiboni kahle izimpawu ezazonginika isiqiniseko esigcwele.
You could not see clear individual markings on Rulofsen's test bullet. Thank you. Proceed.
And I called Brigadier and informed him that I want that firearm, I want to shoot additional tests since the bullets are 2 different types of bullets.
Ngase ke ngitshela uBrigadier ukuthi ngiyasidinga leso sibhamu ngifuna ukuphinde ngiyodubula ngoba ngifuna ukudubula inhlobo ezimbili zenhlamvu lo ngoba ngiyadinga lokufaka.
And he informed me that the firearm is at the police station, at Cleveland police station,
Why say
but
tell her-
at the SAP-13.
Wase ngitshela ukuthi lesi sibhamu sise Cleveland police station sifakwe ngaphansi kwe-SAP-13.
And he said the firearm did not have the serial number. So he's not sure if we are going to find that, go get that firearm. That's why I said no, I'll go look for it because I know where to start looking for it. If to identify, or maybe to be able to identify that firearm, I know where to start looking for that firearm.
Wasethi ke iy'nombolo zesibhamu zasezisuliwe so wasethi ngizoba nenkinga enkulu ngizama ukuthola lesi sibhamu. Wasengitshela ukuthi cha ngiyazi ukuthi ngiyosifunaphi lesi sibhamu ngikwazi ukusithola.
But now exactly there, realizing that there's a similarity between the test bullet from rule of say and most probably with the SIM bullet, although there were no individual markings on rule of say's bullet, you then formed the view that you needed that firearm. Why didn't you request Kininda to bring that firearm himself?
mina ungazicelanga ukuthi ubrigadier Kininda kube uyena okulethela leso sibhamu ngoba ngiyabona ukuthi wabona ukuthi ngathi kukhona ukufanana okuthize phakathi kwey'nhlamvu ezasidutshulwe ileli phoyisa leli urule officer kodwa wabona ukuthi lezi mpawu lezi lezo y'nhlamvu lezo azilingani ukuthi zingakunika isiqiniseko ukuthi kufana ncimishi nempawu ezitholakala enhlamvini lephuma endaweni yesigaba. Yini-ke ungamcelanga ukuthi akuye yena uGininda okulethelayo leso sibhamu?
But as I said, I know how to identify that firearm. If I would say for Brigadier, you can go to the station and fetch it. How many of the firearms were at the station without the serial number? You could have brought any firearm that maybe probably bring the wrong firearm. So if I go there, I know how to identify the firearm. That's why I said, no, I'll go and look for it so that I can identify it.
Ngiyabona kungcono ukuthi kube yimina ohamba efuna leso sibhamu ngoba bengisaba nje ukuthi njengoba yena engengumchwepheshe mayisuka lapha ethi yofuna lesi sibhamu zaziningi ibhamu ezingenazo iy'namba lapho engathatha nanoma isiphi isibhamu asilethe. So mina ngabona ukuthi mina ngingakwazi ukuthi ngiyokwazi ukuthi ngiyosikhomphela ukuthi isibhamu esidingekayo yisiphi. Yikho-ke ngabona kungcono ukuthi kuhambe mina ngiyofuna leso sibhamu.
And I've mentioned that if the firearm was with the owner or was with the company, I wouldn't go and fetch it. I would ask him to go fetch it and bring it to me.
Futhi okunye ukuthi uba lesi sibhamu kumniniso noma senkampanini ethile ngangeke ngimtshela ukuthi ngizwayo ngiyosilanda ngangethi ngcono kube uyena oyosilanda.
And indeed, you went to Cleveland to search for the firearm, or you requested Captain Charlie to assist you, and then he gave it to you. But when you received the firearm, the seal thereof was broken, not so. The seal back thereof was broken, not so.
Manje wena-ke wasuya-ke eCleveland wafika wathola uCaptain Charlie wakusiza ukuthi uthole leso sibhamu. Kodwa ekutholeni kwakho leso sibhamu wathola ukuthi isikhwama leso sasifake kusona isibhamu sasivuliwe.
That's correct, my lord. Not all the firearms at the SAP 13 are in sealed bags.
Akuzona zonke ibhamu ezivuka ngaphansi kuka-SAP 13 ezifakwe ey'khwameni ezingavuliwe.
Now that's very interesting, because Captain Muchali said that these firearms were destined for destruction, and each firearm had to be put into a seal bag. He said that without no doubt. He was very specific about it. And you,
uCaptain Charlie wayengangabazi umechaza ukuthi zonke ibhamu ezaziwe ku-SAP 13 ngaphansi kwakhe zazi kwakuhloswe ukuthi zizoya ziyopheliswa. Manje-ke uthi yena wayengangabazi nancane nje ukuthi iy'bhamu ayenazo zasisey'khwameni ezivaliwe ezivalisisiwe.
I'm sorry, and you have said, when I asked you questions, what would you do when you receive a seal? What does the forensic science laboratory deal with a firearm that they receive in a broken seal? And your answer was, we don't even receive it. Why did you receive this one?
Manje-ke ngikubuzile mina ukuthi uma ukuthi khona isibhamu esizasisesikhwameni esingavalisisiwe wena uzokwenzani? Wasuthi wena cha angeke sisamukele leso sibhamu. Manje-ke usuyangitshela ukuthi isibhamu leso wasithola sisesikhwameni esingavalisisiwe. Manje ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi wawusamukelelani?
When the detective books out the firearm from the SAP 13 to send them to the lab for analysis, they find them not in sealed bags. They seal them so that they can send it to us for analysis. Now in this case, the firearm is at the SAP 13, it's destined for destruction. It was in a box, but it was still in the bag that was sealed by warrant officer ruler, so when the firearm go back to the station.
Manje-ke uma beletha ibhamu la kithina awusho ukuthi baziletha ngekhwama ezingavalisisiwe kodwa-ke ngayena uma ngiyothatha lesi sibhamu lesi yebo sasisesikhwameni esingavalisisiwe kodwa sasisebhokisini ngoba zasifanele ziyopheliswa lezi bhamu. So-ke kusho ukuthi-ke amaphoyisa azifaka kuleso sikhwama kulezo khwama kulesi sikhwama-ke sona sasivalisiswe urulops.
So, I'm just wondering if you've got your affidavit where you're dealing with this firearm here. I can't remember now. What exhibit was it? Exhibit? The exhibit where it was exhibited with this firearm. I'm told that exhibit X13C. Can you please go through your affidavit and show us a line or a paragraph that said when you arrive at Cleveland Hospital, the firearm. What did I say?
What's
Yes,
happening now?
yes, yes, yes.
What's happening now?
At Cleveland Police Station. I'm sorry, my lord. I'm being corrected because I said hospital instead of
hospital. Okay.
no. I'm saying I said Cleveland Hospital.
Yeah, I heard
it
you.
was just a slip of a tongue.
heard you, yeah.
I should have said Cleveland Police Station. But nonetheless, can you please show us a paragraph or a sentence in your affidavit that says, upon your arrival at Cleveland Police Station, you found this firearm that you had to go and fetch there, which was in a box, which was in the seal in which it was sealed by Mr. Rudolphs.
Ngisikhombiseke lapho kwa-affidavit yakho ukuthi ikuphi la ubhale khona ukuthi wathi kumyolanda isibhamu le-Cleveland sasisebhokisini lalivalisiswe uRudolphs.
Is that his evidence?
That is what it just said, my lord.
I found it in an open bag.
That's
That was sealed by warrant officer ruler, so when he, after examining this file,
Mina ngasithola esikhwameni esivuliwe ngoba owayegcine ukusivalela esikhwameni kwaku-warrant officer Rudolphs.
Mr. Lieutenant Colonel, just be sincere. You also mentioned the box there. You also mentioned the box. So I
Yes.
want you to take me to a passage where you said it was in a box, it was sealed by, it was in a seal that it was sealed in by Warrant Rudolphs in your affidavit.
my lord, if it's in a box, in a sealed bag, I don't mention a box.
Uma ukuthi-ke sasisebhokisini angizange kumele ukuthi ngibhokisi.
Do you agree with me? That which you've just told to the court now is not there in your affidavit.
I don't put it in my affidavit. I put it the sealed bag. I said it's in an open bag with now the same number that warrant officer Rudolphs sealed it in. So I don't have to mention that it was in a box. Do I have to mention that? Do I have to mention everything that I did at the station? No, I don't mention that.
Okay. Thank you.
Ukuthi ngifake ngiveza konke okwenzeka e-police station ngishilo njengokuthi esebhokisini ngasho ukuthi esisikhwameni esaselena sivalwe u-warrant officer Rudolphs.
You know what is strange as well? Mr. Mchali, yes, Mr. Mchali, the SAP 13 chief at Cleveland said, I used his own seal, not a seal that was used by Warrant Officer Rudolphs said. Now you are telling this court that the seal that was broken is the seal that was used by Warrant Officer Rudolphs, and not so.
That's correct, my lord.
Yes, but Mchali said, no, I used a different seal. I used my own seal, not really his personal, but a seal In other words, he used a different seal,
Umtshali
not
uthi
the
yena-
one that was used by rule of say.
umtshali uthi yena wasebenzisa isikhwama esivalisekayo esihlukile kuleso sasetshenziswa u-Rudolphs.
My Lord, on paragraph 7 of my report, I said on Monday, the 20th of July, 2020, I received an open seal bag with number PA 40081081085, marked inter alia Cleveland case 96 of 2015, and SAP 1386/2015 that contained the said firearm. On Warrant Officer Rudolph's statement, paragraph 10, on the 13th of February 2015, the exhibits mentioned in paragraph 3.1 to 3.3 were sealed in an evidence bag with number PA 400081085. It's the same bag.
Okay.
Le number lena engibhalile lapha mina ukuthi ngangithole lapha ngomhla ka-20 kuJuly 2020 ukuthi ngathola isikhwama esasinenombolo lo PA 400081085 esasimakwe ukuthi kwezinye indawo ukuthi Cleveland MAS 96/02/015 and SAP 1306/2015 esesinalesi spam iyona ncimishile number eyayi kulesa sikhwama nale eyayi lapha kumbukiso lo kaRudolphs okhipha yona le number ukuthi isibhamu sasibekwe kusona leso sikhwama.
Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, it doesn't matter whether you found it in a seal bag that was used by Captain Charlie or a seal bag that was used by Warrant Officer Rudolphs. The fact of the matter is the seal bag was broken when you found it.
Ukuthi wasithola isikhwama ukuthi sathola isibhamu sesikhwameni sikamtshali noma esikaRudolphs okusalayo nje ukuthi isikhwama sasivulile.
And
Matters
further
a lot,
on,
my lord,
let me
because it's the same
proceed.
bag.
Let me
Sorry,
proceed.
sorry. Let him finish.
It matters, as I said, it matters a lot, my lord, because it's the same bag that
Okay,
Warrant
thank
Officer
you.
Rudolphs has sealed.
Thank you.
No, okusemqoka ukuthi nje isona leso sikhwama esavalisiswa uWarrant Officer Rudolphs.
And Mr. Muchali told this court that he sealed it in his own seal bag. He was very surprised when I read this passage of your affidavit to him, that when you arrived there, you found it in an open seal bag. Very surprised.
Umtshali yena uthi
Can maybe, my lord, we have a court record to
Yeah.
assist us, you know. I
Yeah,
think if
what
such
time
a
is it?
proposition is
What time is
put,
it? Yeah, because as I remember the evidence, it's like you're talking like 120 firearms. I'll just tell you, Mr. Mnisi.
I did not hear
You seem to
the...
forget the evidence of, is it Commander Singh? Commander Singh,
Singh, yes.
the Indian gentleman who came here and said he was in charge of the destruction of redundant firearms, etc., etc., and that he had signed a register that the firearm, which was allegedly tested by Rudolphs, must be destroyed. But God works in strange way. It was never destroyed.
it's actually Bayat.
Bayat, yes.
Yes, madam.
That's it. Rudolphs came to this court with a firearm. And I said to him, he was standing there, bring it here, I want to see it. The very firearm which is this, the issue of contention in this trial. He took it out. I actually grabbed it and looked at it because I said, I want to see it. And then I said, give it to each and every of the advocates there. You remember that?
Yes, madam.
Oh, good. Then he gave it to the advocates, and then he had a box, a blue box. Went in, there were about 9 or 13 cartridges. I said, bring those here. I want to see them. What time is it? Maybe we should adjourn. People are tired.
It's 19 minutes past 3.
Yeah. So continue tomorrow.
We'll continue
So
tomorrow, my lord.
that's part of the evidence.
Thank you, man.
And this witness,
Yes.
I don't think, he never denied that there was an open bag in which you took it out.
That's correct.
He never denied it. I mean, we're just wasting time. He agreed that when he got to Cleveland, a firearm was there under the badges which had to be destroyed. And Mchali also says that. And then when I asked Mchali, do firearms vanish at Cleveland? And then he said, yes, in Zulu. Zonke siyazi, we all know that firearms vanish tomorrow.
En jy lang staan aan jou verwysing tot so 'n man, man.